That's so cool. I'm gonna leave that in, I guess. Hey guys, Wheaty Waffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2, playing our city of Second City, and a few tiny changes between last part and this part. I went ahead and remembered to add in a police station right after filming the episode. So I went ahead, put this police station kind of in the middle of this area of our city, and then surrounded it with all of the districts that were previously served by I think it was over here. There was another police station over that way, but now we have a new one that fills this area. I also did go ahead and just make a change to this train line so that it comes in from this direction. I initially wasn't going to do that, but I figure if we ever did want to expand, we would want this train to be able to come up and then transfer itself further out of the city this way. So I can't promise we'll ever use this other kind of track and ever connect that up. But if we do, now we've got it in place to do that. I've also expanded the white airport line that we had. So now instead of just going from the airport to this stop right here, it now also goes down this road and makes a stop right here. I noticed there was a ton of people walking along this main avenue from this area. So instead, now what they can do is just take the bus from here, get on the bus. These are like always full, and they let off a ton of people. Take the bus all the way up. They'll stop here in front of the train before they come over here to the airport. And when they get to the airport, they are going to have kind of a brand new setup here. So I've added in a bus lane, and then I gave the bus lane a smooth turnaround so that the bus can have a better time turning around in this area versus coming all the way down here, making a terrible turn right here at the corner and then coming back down. I also moved our depot for our taxis into this area as well. So both of the public transit infrastructure pieces are along this block. And then I removed all the parking from this area as well as from over here before adding in a brand new multi-level parking garage, B, a small little train police station right here because this area was having a lot of problems with crime. I put in a custom parking lot, and I added a new road maintenance building just to kind of give a little bit more to this area. Not that anything like really needs to be done, but I wanted just to have a little bit of extra. We'll even go ahead and upgrade that. Why not? Now, really quickly, I am noticing that even with all my parking infrastructure, people are still like incredibly committed to parking over here, which is precisely where I don't want them. So we're going to make sure that that cannot happen. You cannot park kind of in this whole area. If you want to park, come park over here. That is what that parking is for. It's also interesting we have a center median here, but then no center median here. Oh, because I put it in the middle. Oh, I didn't even know that the middle was an option. Let's do it in the middle. That's kind of fun. It does remove my grass here, but I'd argue I like it in the middle better. The rest can be concrete. That's fine. And how are you doing? You've got 79 folks. You've got 45. But look, they come over here. They take this dedicated turn lane. They wrap themselves around. Bam, and they're right in front of the airport all over again. We love to see it. I think we're finally starting to get these passengers moving and grooving. So we're going to see how that keeps playing out as we go. Other than that, I don't think there was much else that I did. I added a few more farms over here, been slowly working on this area, but that's about it. Today, what we're going to get into is I want to work on building the medical university, and I know exactly where I want to put it, or the rough about areas where I want to put it. I either want to have the medical university here, or I want to have it here in this area. Now, I will say, no, it comes downhill, but then this is, it's a slope, but it's not terrible. Or it could be here, kind of on this side of this busy road, with an entrance maybe off of here, filling into the medical university. I haven't really messed around with it enough yet to know exactly where I want it. It would look great kind of here, though, on the top of a hill, if that's possible. What is this? Oh, a radio mast. Oh, it just loads really thick from back here. I'm going to leave that in, I guess. All right. Medical University. I believe we already have this unlocked. If I go to universities, technical, no, medical's right here. I have a technical that we've not built yet. What is this? These are just regular universities. We have more than enough capacity. I recognize that. I'm totally cool with that. But I do want to get one of these guys, because if we get the medical university, then I believe we can unlock other stuff. Maybe? I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and grab the medical university. And we have a technical university, which we've not built yet either. But let's go and get this. Let's also, should I get the radio telescope? I think for now we'll hold, but soon enough we're probably going to want to get that. All right. Medical university, academic schooling for medical professionals, provides the 4th level of education and increases the efficiency of healthcare service buildings. Can be upgraded with an extension wing, research facilities, and a practice clinic. And the reason I want to get this is it helps with negative 25% recovery failures plus 10% hospital efficiency. I don't know if either of those things are going to be a support for the stressful death wave situation we deal with, but if they are, count me in. Now, part of me kind of feels like we would just place this like right along. This gets very like straight here, this road. So we could use that road to our advantage. Kind of have this going this way down the hill. Oh, screw it. All right, and it does give me pharma, a new signature building. Pharmaceutical production, endeavoring to make the products accessible to all. I like the polite spin on pharmaceuticals. Okay, question whether or not we put all of these guys. All they do is increase student capacity. However, I think they look amazing. What is this? An extension wing. It increases capacity for even more students. We have citizens near the university can be treated here and gain a boost to their health, plus 5% health within 1 kilometer. Oh, and this is a separate building. Great, great. And then research facilities. Research work increases the student's chance of graduating. And this is also a separate building. Okay. Knowing that these are separate buildings, this is the only one that tacks on. I think we're actually going to leave that off. Let's go ahead and get a road around this thing. And frankly, I wouldn't mind just having a road that just goes all the way around. If we were to bring this to here, send it right up and in. Just going to go ahead and surround this puppy in an access road. Okay. How's that looking so far? We are starting to get a little bit of a cut in to the ground, but that's okay. What we could also consider doing here is giving this a retaining wall kind of all the way along this front edge. Yeah, I think up to there. Perfect. We'll also do a retaining wall here. I think we do. Let's try to reduce the size of this. And let's grab this height and just send this height all the way along here. I'm just curious, like how high is this? If this all gets a retaining wall, then we go from here to here and we just start to smooth it out a bit. Yep. Then along this road, we give this a nice smooth. Can we make this smooth in a way that doesn't look janky? Yeah, here we go. Hold on. I want to kind of get rid of the cliffside as much as possible. Which I recognize is changing the height of this again, but it's all going to be worth it. Get rid of this kind of section here. Basically, I just want to remove the cliff's edge from this, if at all possible. That looks pretty decent. Let's go ahead, and I think because we're working with this medical university, go ahead and just get this entire thing covered in trees and grass all along there. Go from here to here, go from here to here. Just like so. We can add an extended sidewalk around the rest of this. Perfect. And there's the Medical University kind of facing out over the area. Now we need to add in the extra buildings. So this first one is a practice clinic. And I want this to be used by the citizens in this area. How big is it? Not huge, but it's also not small. Now, if we're looking at this, there's a decent size pool in here. You would be able to park, and then you could walk over out of here to the practice center. So if this was to go maybe around here somewhere, we would have a decent spot for people to get service if they need it. I think that's pretty good just like that. It does have some surface around it. I question whether or not I need to worry about the surface around it. What I think I might do, though, is I might place one of these guys right here. This is 6 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right along the side, we can tack on a parking garage. Unfortunately, though, I'm running into an issue where I can't get this to work right where I want it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means that right here would go our road. But what if instead I curve it up like that? So there's a little bit of a space there. It's probably also helpful for me to consider having this on the whole time, because now this actually just goes up, which I don't want that to happen. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. There's a reason. There is a reason. Hold on. What we're going to want to do is I'm going to want to take this height here, and I'm going to want to flatten this area to this height all the way through this. Flatten out this section. Nice and flat. Perfect. Then from here, we are going to place this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's place it right here, which puts the entrance right about there, kind of perfectly in line here. I would love to have a crosswalk right there. There we go. All right, we got a crosswalk right there. So you can walk from this parking lot directly into here. But I do think this should have its own dedicated parking, just because why would you not? Why would you not? Let's turn Anarchy off. Let's go ahead and grab another road. 2, 4, 6. That would go right to here. And we can connect right into there, which is perfect. We'll place this parking garage right along the side here, just to give this a little bit more depth. I actually think, you know what, maybe the parking garage goes right behind this building. So we kind of tuck it out of the way so you don't see it. If I were to take this, let's just bring this out even further. Let's instead bring a road out, maybe right. Let's do this. Let's bring a road here, which we know is perfectly aligned, right? In fact, upgrade it to be an alleyway. Then move the parking garage to the back of this building. We then take a regular road and we bring the regular road along the side here. Keep it on the ground. We bring it along the back as well. And then we bring another road up this way, just like so. Connect this road into here. Connect this road into here. But then move this over just a scotch so it's right on the edge. Right? So you can drive in and park there, but there's also additional parking in this parking garage for those who need it. It does not obscure this large gate graded area. This is also just a flat wall. It does block some of those buildings there in the back, windows in the back. I think I'm okay with that. I almost want to move it to this side. Right? Move it to that side. Then come in here with this and grab the mowed grass. Perfect. Now, I do think this needs some type of park. I already know the park I want to put here. It's not going to be big enough, though. If only we had more space. We'd have to go another whole road length, which just feels a little aggressive. Oh, but this fits just fine. It even fits this way. What if we do that? Right? So nice little fountain near the parking garage. That's all well and good. We could consider putting more parking here. I don't know if we need it just yet. For now, I am going to just kind of smooth out everything we've done in this little section. Then what we're going to do is upgrade this road to have a key wall on it. That's going to help with people trying to park over here first. Second, it's going to fix some of this crazy looking road or ground we have going on over here. If I just smooth it, it doesn't really work the way I was hoping. Actually, you know what? That's not too bad. I'm going to put some rocks along there. We'll make that look decent. Okay. I wonder if we go ahead, flatten to this height, kind of all along here. Right? And if I wanted to build out the research facilities, say I built them out along this road. How far back do they go? Because we could place 2 of these. They're pretty expensive, but if one was placed right here and another one came off it, that could look pretty nice. I am debating, do we just go ahead and just do this? Extension wing. It's apparently an invalid shape. I don't know how or why, but I think if I throw Anarchy on, we can make it work. Ah, screw it. Let's just put the extension wing. Which for some reason is having like some connectivity issues, which I don't fully understand. Like what's not connected in there? Oh, you know what? It's because, hold on. Turn Anarchy back off. Practice Clinic extension wing. Go to this, delete the extension wing. It's because this wasn't able to overwrite this. Okay, you know what? Get rid of this entirely. Let's go ahead and fix this ourselves. We can do this. Grab this height. Go like this. Fill this whole thing with this height as intended. There we go. Go to education. Go here. Snap to road. And snap it right here. Although for some reason, all of the sudden, the space it was in no longer fits it. For no discernible reason. Now with this here, go ahead and give it this extension. Go ahead and place this right here. There we go. Much better. Perfect. And you pull up and you can see this gorgeous, gorgeous university. Now, I do think it needs far, far, far more parking, which I think would go back here as well. I'm debating if the other building goes here or if all this is parking and then the other building is over here. That I don't yet know. Let's start off by just giving this a road right here along the edge. I am very much confused by why this doesn't seem to work. Like what's the issue? What is the issue? There we go. I am going to also, just because we know we're going to need it, let's just go ahead, grab this height, send it out to here, and we're also going to send out some height here as well. So I think we have this beautiful curve, so I actually don't want to place any building in front of that, but I could see a building being placed over here and still looking pretty nice. Let's actually undo the key walls we had there and instead build a new key wall right here. I want it to be perfectly flat. Like, I don't want this to change in height at all. Let me just quadruple check that both of these guys are to the same height as this. Then if I go from here to here, we did have a 0 there for a second. Interesting. By building a key wall, like underneath the key wall menu, I don't actually get the key wall I'm hoping for. I don't get a railing. I feel like we maybe already have established that once before, but that's just interesting to me. All right, let's go ahead and grab all of these heights. Let's just make sure everything is matching to this height right here. I swear to God we already deleted all of the bushes and plants, but they're back. There's more. Okay. Great. Now, this is a lot. I know. We've really like raised things up. We also flattened some stuff over here. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to have enough kind of rocks and tree detailing to make this make a little bit more sense. But let's go ahead and get in the last building here, which is the research facilities. I would honestly prefer this to go this way if it would fit. And it would if we just figured out where we want it down here. And I think I roughly want it kind of in this space. So let's do this. Let's use this road here that's coming out of the medical university. We'll use that as our connection to here. Then we'll get rid of this. That gives me a perfect space to put this guy right here. And then we can fill in this center area with parking. Now, the way I want to do this is I'm going to grab an alleyway. And we're going to go 2 units on the interior. We'll have an entrance here. We'll also have an exit here. And we maybe will do 1 or 2 more on the other side, but first let's lay down some alleyway roads and then we'll know what we're doing there. These are roads, angled parking road, perpendicular alley. I do want them to be perpendicular. We're going to scoot this over to here. Doesn't have to be totally perfect, but close enough. Use move it again. Let's grab this and this. Scoot these over. Grab this and this. We'll scoot those over. Does leave a little space. So maybe what we'll do instead is we'll actually move these 2 over and give just the tiniest little bit of space in between each of them. Looks pretty good. We're going to fill in this area with the road surface. That's going to make this all even come together even more. Look at that. Now it just looks like a big parking lot, which we like. And then this area here will be surrounded with trees and grass. It's not a perfect square because I've messed with it a little bit. I'm not too mad about it. I do think now that I'm seeing this, we should have other entrances in here. So let's do this. Let's go down here. And we'll go right here. So we've got more than enough ways to get in here. Then I think all of this is just going to need a little bit of surface work to kind of look complete. Okay, we've got some parking right there in front of our research facility. We also have 113 people at this campus, which by the way can hold 17,500 people. The amount of education we have at the university level is astronomical. Astronomical. We can hold 50,000 people between this university and this university, which is crazy. Now, at the moment, this only has 1 entrance, which is not great. So we're going to want to have a separate entrance over here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab some more of this land, right? Send it all out. And then we're going to smooth this back out. This is going to end up causing us to have a nice hill that we can then create some type of slope to come down from. If I go from here to here, like, what does that do to me? There we go. That's not too bad. Just give it some texture, and then we fill this back out like that. Much better. Much better. All right, now this area here, it's not bad. It's not bad, but it is leaving a little bit to be desired. I almost want to try and take this height, move it out some more. And then, like, can we force this to just kind of be a cliff like this? Right? Like, right along this way, the water got a little cliff's edge along the water. You're down here, you look up, and you see the medical university. I think I like that more than just having, like, the key wall. We can even go ahead and just remove the key wall, I think. Put this flat on the ground. These do not match in height. So let's grab all three of these and match them to this like we did with the other side. We'll also go ahead and just remove the key wall. Yeah, let that be flat, I think. That's not too bad. Now, we need a separate entrance into the medical university. I think that entrance is going to come from this road right here. So let's go ahead and grab this road. We have our snap twos turned on. We're going to bring this out a little bit. Go ahead and curve this direction. We're going to keep this stuck to the ground, constant slope, and instead of bringing it down 10, let's bring it down, I don't know, 7.5. That's pretty good. Okay. We're then going to turn off these two guys because I really want to make sure we're snapping at an angle here. This can be at 0 from where we are. Yep. And then this. Actually, you know what? This one doesn't need to be at that angle. This one can go from here, kind of over this way. Turn off angle snap and just go like this. Right? I don't want it to go crazy here. Then we're going to connect up right into here. So what we're going to do now is bring this over to here. Bring this down to 0. Send that down to here. Turn all these back on again. And with Anarchy, slap that puppy right in there. So there's the back entrance to get into this university. Now, whoo man, this needs some work. These are not great. We can fix that though and make it look a little less chaotic. Much better. All right, now we are going to want to make some changes to this section. I'm thinking that I don't know if this is going to be possible to like make this look nice with just this alone. Let's see. If I just like run this back and forth, or am I getting anywhere? Like, I don't think that I am. No, I don't think that I am. So let's do this. Let's grab this height and come down to here. Go ahead and slope it up. And then what we'll do is we'll smooth this out in the middle. Great, great. I am going to grab this height and just smooth out this center section. Kind of get rid of the harshness that's on this side. Okay. We'll also smooth out this section here a little bit. Let's grab this height. Smooth that out as well. Beautiful. I don't love the little divot I'm seeing. And I wonder if there's an easy way to solve this. Let's see. If I click on this, and I set them all to this height, does that fix it? Yes. That's actually pretty decent. So now we have a means to get up into here from two different areas. Now, I do want to limit the parking on the surrounding roads. Let's make sure we do that before things get too out of hand here. I'm going to make a few changes. First of all, this section will be upgraded to have 2 lanes going that way. It doesn't need to go that far, though. And I could have swore you used to be able to click twice and create a node. I have been unsuccessful in making that happen. So I don't know if something changed or if I just wasn't paying attention, but for some reason I can't do that anymore. Now what we're going to do is this side we were giving this trees closer to the facility. On the outer side, it's just going to have a thicker sidewalk. So that's our first change there. Here we're going to make a similar change in that I want to have 2 lanes, but I want to divide this. So let's go ahead and grab... We'll grab this. I'll use Anarchy here like so. Upgrade this road to face this way. Upgrade this one to face this way. And then come in here and remove that road. Perfect. We've got our turn lanes. Right here, we're also going to want some turn lanes. Right? Do we turn lane here? That is the question. think we do, because you can go left or right. All right. Now, down here, there's a lot of crosswalks that we don't need. We don't need any of these crosswalks. We don't need any of these crosswalks. We'll leave all of those. We'll leave all of those. We can leave what's here, leave those, leave those. We'll leave those. We'll leave all of this. It's a lot of crosswalks there, but I think it's valuable considering it's a very busy area. It's going to potentially be a very busy area, we hope. One can hope. Do we also add in some of these roads here? I think I want to. We have a dedicated turn lane, and you can go straight. I think right here, we'll do the same little number. Update this to have this turn lane here. Update this to have 2 turn lanes. Get rid of that little node. What that tells me, too, is that I'm going to want to have the grass, I think, on this exterior side. Reason for that being that I want the larger sidewalk to be geared towards the buildings, which just so happens to be all of this area. But all of this can just have trees kind of facing the riverfront. It's pretty good. Did we miss anything over here? I don't believe so. We have 2 cars parked here. Very exciting. Very exciting. We don't really have any other means to get to this yet. But now what I think I need to do... Oh, first I need to figure out what's happening with this like kind of cliff edge here. Because this... That's not ideal. Let's bring this out further than we need. And then give it a quick sloping tool here. Trying to make it a little bit less harsh, if we can. It's still a cliffside, right? But that's expected here. And I think all of this is going to be filled with a very, very, very dense amount of trees. Let's go ahead and do that now and see kind of what we come up with. If I turn Anarchy on, we use all 3 different kinds of trees here. And I just take this and we just... surround the crap out of this side. Don't worry, I'm going to delete the ones that are in the ocean, in the river. Let's go ahead and get this kind of river road in here as well. I think for this I did use the keys. I'm going to use this, turn everything off, except for snap to the shoreline. We definitely want to do that. You know what? Keep it all on. Screw it. What's it matter? Keep it all on. Let's just do continuous curves. So we're going to go ahead and bring this up this direction. And I'm actually going to be a bit more intentional with kind of following this road, or the river. Like this was placed here, but they did not try to alter the ground. They did, in fact, want to follow what was left on that riverside. Now the question is, how do we get this to come up in here? Up here, I don't know if we do just yet. For now, we're going to leave it just like this, which is fine. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of the trees in the actual road itself. And then I think what I need to do is put some rocks down here. So let's get that going. And that's going to make this all look so much nicer. Okay, there we go. We've got a nice little rock wall along the edge. We've got a number of parking spaces available. Now, I've already got trees inside the road over here. Let's just get rid of that. These poor people are driving right through solid trees. Not the intention. Not the intention. Now, I do wonder what that means for this section here, because I do think we need some more commercial. So what I want to do is I want to come over here and I want to place some just regular general commercial right in here, but I want to be thoughtful. So we'll go back this far. We'll go back to here and we'll do a little bit here. I think that's all we're going to squeeze in there, because anything more I think would maybe look a little crazy. Let's also get a check on this pharma building we got. We got pharmaceutical production endeavoring to make the products accessible to all. 2% industrial efficiency, 5% interest in education, university education, and 1% university graduation chance. It does have medium ground pollution and medium air pollution. It's a great building. This might be something that we consider putting here in Brightwater. Maybe we put the pharma building and we put, I think we unlocked, yeah, the Principus. Maybe both of those should go over here in Brightwater. For now, though, I think this looks pretty nice. I do also want some pathways connected up to this. I think just having this alone is not enough. Yes, technically, people can use this, what is this? You know, this road to walk up here, but look at all the people here. Having additional means to get up here would be really valuable. Let's go ahead and place a pathway right here. Then we're going to turn on the sloping tool. If I keep it to the ground and also require it to do constant slope, we could get some pretty decent connections here, I think. Right, we've got this guy here. That's pretty decent. There's also a bus stop over here. So what I would like to do is connect this up to here and connect this maybe up and over to here with an entrance right here at the front. Let's go ahead and give this some rocks and trees as well. That's going to just really help clean this section up. All right, we already have people using this, which is amazing. Where are you going? Are you going to school? Job level, specialist. Citizens try to find jobs at Master Education. You're a specialist. Workplace, Crush Street Medical University. You're a specialist. That's so cool. I do think that there's not going to be much more development along this strip here because we are dealing with the hill. Although I say that, and part of me thinks it could look neat. If I anarchy this guy on here, it could look neat to have all of this have this hill here. Beautiful. We are then going to smooth that out so you can't really tell. This could be a prime spot for some more development. I think what I want to do is have more commercial, but I already have commercial here and I have commercial here with a little bit of office. So maybe we do some more offices here instead. Let's go ahead and fill in kind of this section with office, and maybe we'll send it up to that point. That's about as far as I think I want to go. And right here on the corner, we will do a high density, two high density commercial buildings. I like that. Now, this whole section here in the front, I'm actually going to fill this in with the surface at this point. I think it is ready for that. We're just going to do regular grass. No need for mowed grass in this part. It's not that deep, but I want to have this look like it's finished. Fill that in with grass. That's now nice and complete. Beautiful. Wait till these come in. That's going to look great. This is actually insane how many people are using this crosswalk. So much so that I think I want to create a pedestrian bridge right here. Like if I were to go from here to here, like right there would work just fine. Snap to zoning cell lengths. We're going to come over to here, bring it down again, but this is where we're going to curve. Or maybe we go 1 and 1. Yep, okay. 1 and 1. To wherever we can get it. There to here. If I turn this off, and I turn this off, and I turn this off, can we sneak it to go just like this? Like so. Don't mind if I frickin' do. Then this can just come down straight. Keep it at an angle. And just go from there to here. Okay, turn the angle off and it should work fine. Like for some reason that works, not a problem. So let's just do that. So there's still the opportunity for you to use the other means, but if you just want to use that, you can just use that. Let's go and do this. And if I use move it, I might be able to get this to look a little bit nicer. Not terrible. Could be worse. Could be better. We'll take it. We'll give it a little bit of decoration just because it's the entrance. This has become my new combo recently. I've been doing the apple trees. This is Wild Green Bush 2, which has a really nice height. Wild Green Bush 1 is a little bit smaller. but also kind of meets the same needs, you know? It does exactly what I'm looking for. And then I fill it in with wildflower flowers. I fill it in with wildflowers. They give me a nice kind of like ground covering. And it's perfect. I also love that we're able to fit these underneath. That's always nice. Because one downside to the clipping is that normally there would be growth underneath these kinds of entrances. Like, that's just what would happen. That's normal. Now, these... I don't love these. I don't love them. I don't love them. But I wonder if I just keep my mouth shut and we let them be and we see what happens. Now I've got to figure out the public transit. And we have a airport line that already goes from here down to here, back up to here. And since that line does have connection to this path, I'm sure some people could use this to get to the university. We also don't have that many people trying to get here. Whoa. Look at all these people. Holy cow. We don't have a lot of people trying to get here. We did set up this orange line here. Let's see if I can get the name of it real quick. Right there. That. We have the Oasis Hill Woodlawn line. So we set up this line intentionally so that it was going from our transfer station here, which also connects people down from the downtown and all over the city. We are going to get them on that orange line. We'll send the orange line up past Point Breeze and along this side of Orson Hill. And then what we'll do, Oasis Hill. Hold on. I'm realizing this whole time, this is just spelled incorrectly. Orson Hill. Then we can take this line and bring them up and stop them here around the university. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to send it up this way. It's going to use this road, come all the way up here. Right here we have some trees. We could cannibalize those trees, stop right here. It could then turn around and go back down towards the original route. I don't want it to go that way, though. Like, I would want this to then kind of continue around this way, still use the same setup. Like, use this hill. That's what we want. All right. Is that going to work okay for us? Let's see. We've got 5 vehicles on this line, 8 cents a line, electric buses. This one's already full. That's amazing. I think that's going to work out pretty well. The last step we need to take for this medical university is to give it a district. So I think for now, we're going to keep this relatively easy. And we're going to basically outline the district itself, come up here to Amberwood Street, which I love that this name is making it all the way through the city, as it should. Kind of roughly follow this here. I think we will send the medical university up and around this way, up to here, and it will own all of this landscaping, but this particular district will actually just join into here. I think that works much better. There we go. So now that's technically Orson Hill. And then this is Sterling Way. It sounds like a road name. This is going to be, what did this naturally call itself? Crest Street Medical University. We're just going to call it Crest Street Medical. Okay. And then we're going to just name this Crest Street Medical. I think that's perfect. Also, there will be roadside parking fees if you're able to figure out how to do that, and speed bumps so you go nice and slow. Okay, so we have Crest Street Medical. I think all around it looks pretty nice. Overlooks the water. You can see it on top of the hill as you're driving over here into the city. I would also love to, let's just lightly raise this road right here to here, right? Okay, hold on. I've now created a disaster for myself. Okay, we've upgraded this again now that it actually has the proper... Is this tree as part of the... It is. Okay, so upgraded this again. Now it has the proper grass in the middle. I actually don't think we're going to put the trees on it. Looking at it from this angle, sometimes having those trees, like, it looks just so repetitive that I almost wonder if it looks better without them. I mean, up here it doesn't bother me all that much, but down here I kind of like that this is just grass. Also, look at that curve. That's amazing. I will say, it's making me also realize I think I want to upgrade this. Ensure there's a key wall on this side. It says it's overlapping something, which is the police station. So we're just going to do this like this. That removes any of the parking there. And I don't want you parking here. There we go. So now we've got a little bit better setup here for this bridge. It heads on over into this area a little bit flatter. And you can, as you're driving, look over and just see the medical university at the top of this hill, which I think is so cool. Like if I zoom in on this person, this is her life. She's just an elderly woman, highly educated, wealthy, retired. She's headed to Stratford. Oh, you're leaving the city. So you're going to get yourself to the airport. Good on you. Don't even know where I am. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lorelai, follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.